Hey everyone, today I'm going to show you and play for you Axe Machina, a powerful electric guitar library by Soundiron featuring a 7-string guitar designed for massive guitar riffs and powerful modern metal aggressive tones. Let's have a listen. So there you go, this is Axe Machina, and as you can see I have loaded the preset that you heard at the very beginning of this video. This is the standard amped multi-track preset and it sounds like this. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to switch to the standard amped presets, so not the multi-track, because I want to show you how you can actually create the multi-track yourself. So let's play it. So straight away I want to tell you mod wheel controls the volume. As you can see right here, we have this big volume dial. So if you want to do something like, you have control over your volume. So let me show you the interface a little bit because it's a lot of fun and it really allows you to sculpt your guitar tone. The first thing we have is the body. So this actually gives you a little bit of body to your guitar. We have the attack, so if you want to soften the attack a little bit, you can even do this kind of volume tricks, you know, where you actually turn up the volume if you want to, like this. You can offset the beginning of the note if you want to, and then we have the release sounds. Before I show you this, let me switch my articulation. I'm gonna go here where it says fretboard, and here you can find all the different articulations that you can load. So if, for example, you load the preset called pinch harmonics only, you will only have one slot populated right here. But because I've used the standard amped, we have all these different articulations. So let's try the pick palm mute, or the power chord sustains. I'm gonna go back to the pick palm mute and I'm gonna show you what the release does now. No release. Full release. So see, it makes it a little bit tighter, so I would recommend, depending on the actual material that you're going to produce, this could be very, very useful. So if you have slower material, you can turn it up. If you have very fast, you know, you can turn it down a little bit. And then we also have the release volume. So this can also be useful. And here we also have the vibrato. Now let me show you straight away something that's very cool. Remember at the beginning we had this massive double track guitar sound. Let me show you how you can get this using the interface. So you can see this guitar right here. This is like a single guitar, right? So let's try a different articulation. Let's try the power chord palm mute. And now I'm going to go here to this dual mode and turn it on. And check what happens. See these guitars here? And I can decide how wide these double track guitars are going to be panned. And if I want to, I can choose between guitar 1 and guitar 2. So these are actually multi-track guitar parts. Let's try the pinch harmonics. Power chord sustains. Now, if you want to load more articulations, you can go to any one of the slots and load an articulation. So let's say I want to load the pinch harmonics chromatic. There we go. So you can do all these things. Now I'm going to go to the taps articulation, and before I show you this, I'm going to go to my effects, and I want to show you the effects page. As you can see, we already have an EQ right here, but if I want to, I can load, let's say, a delay and maybe a reverb, and now let's play those taps. Another very cool thing that you can do is you can activate slide on Axe Machina. And as you can see, we have the slide key switch right here. It's D0 by default. And let me show you what you can do. I'm gonna play this power chord, and then I can just activate this key switch. So I can create slides between notes. Really cool. Now I've switched to my palm mute, and I'm going to show you now the play mode. So this is the normal play mode. Now what I'm going to show you is what the repeat mode does. So if I activate this, now if I hold my sustain pedal down, I get repeated notes. And that means you can play really fast repeated notes. So very, very useful. Now let me go and switch to my pick sustains, and I want to show you what you can do with the next play mode. This is a strum mode. So when you have the strum mode activated, you need to play these key switches right here so that you can activate your strum alternate, strum down, and your strum up. So you need to play a chord here, let's say this, and then you just play these key switches. So strum up, and if you want to change the speed, you can change the time right here. You can see strum mode. I can just make it a little bit slower. So you have full control over your strumming, but you can also use these yellow key switches, as you can see right here, to trigger all the notes. So if I play, let's say, these 4 notes, I can trigger all of them using these key switches. And at any speed I want. And of course, this is completely dry. You can add your reverbs, your delays, and you can create some really cool solo parts as well. So this is the strum mode. Now I'm going to go back to normal mode, and I'm going to show you the auto hammer. Basically, what this allows you to do is it tells Axe Machina to create hammer-on effects when you play on the same string. So this is another thing that's really powerful with Axe Machina. As you can see, all the strings are separated right here, and you can see them in these colors on the key switches. So if I play all the notes on the 7th string right here, check out the difference between the auto hammer off and on. So we actually get a hammer-on effect. Let's add back our delay and reverb. Well, this is articulated, right? It's a very, very different sound. Speaking of strings, if you want, you can solo any one of the strings, so you can only play on that particular string. And this you do right here on the string setup. So if I want to play just on the 1st string, I can click on this, and now if I want to play on the 2nd string only, because you can see the difference between the 1st string and the 2nd string with the same notes. It's a massive difference. So you can do this with all the strings. You can say, I only want to play on the 7th string, or maybe just the 7th string and the 6th string. See, very, very different sound. All of these things that I'm showing you right here, you can trigger using key switches. So if you see right here, we have our solo strings right there. So I can activate my solo strings using these key switches. But if I want, I can also have them be temporary. So if I want to temporarily solo one string, I can just set this to temp. And as you can see, when I lift the key switch, it goes back to playing all the strings. Another very cool way that you can customize your guitar parts with Axe Machina is this slider right here, the hand position. So let me show you what this does. I'm going to have it at default setting right now. And I'm going to just change the fret position. this allows you to go from a more open string sound to a playing style that's more on the high frets. That's open string, and you can actually see it right here on the interface. Where if I go right here, for example, very, very cool, and this really makes a difference if you want to create realistic guitar parts. There are many other settings right here. We can change our pitch bend range, we can also set our velocity range and our pick direction, so from alternative picking to down picking or up picking. The next thing I want to show you is the arpeggiator. So if I click on ARP here, you can see that we have a full arpeggiator page. So if I want, I can activate the sequencer, and now I can start playing different riffs. And of course, I can choose different articulations. So let's try the pick palm mute. And of course, if I want to, I can just make some of the steps longer. And as you can see right here, I can change the different patterns. So it's very easy to start building your own patterns. You can start adding steps, and you can choose if a step is going to play or not, and then you can change the actual pitch. And you can do this kind of ramps, so you can have more dynamics right there if you want to. One thing that I want to show you is that if you want, you can actually change the level relationship between the different articulations. So for example, if I want my pinch harmonics to be louder, I can come right here, and you see this fader? Maybe I want to make it a little bit louder or quieter. So you have a lot of control when it comes to your articulation volume. Now, before I leave you, I want to show you something else. As you can see, we have many different presets right here. Some of them load just one articulation so that you can save resources on your computer. But there are some presets that you should definitely know about, and these are the DI presets. So let me load this DI multi-track preset, and you will hear that this is a DI guitar sound. Which means if you want, you can either add your favorite guitar simulation plugin, or you can reamp the guitar, or you can go to your effects page and add your plugins right here. As you can see, I've added a compressor, a VST amp, a chorus, and a delay. And now it sounds like this. One last thing before we finish this video. As you can see, there are many articulations right here, but you will find some articulations particularly useful, especially these noises right here. So check it out. And with these notes, you can actually change the arpeggios. So if I go here, I can just change the arpeggios in real time. So there you go, my friends. This is Axe Machina. I hope you enjoyed this video, and rock on.